Hello again, I'm Robert Fitton, and it's time to give the official answers to the game I played. Hopefully you played along, where you had to figure out what the three songs have in common. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you have not seen that video, obviously you want to check that video out first, because these are just the answers. And what fun is that if you haven't seen the original video and tried to play along? So the link to that video should be popping up right here if you want to check that out. But these are the answers. Most of these, I think, in fact, all of them, I think, have been answered in the comments section once I turn that on. But these are the official answers. So number one, you had Free Fallin', Man in the Moon, and Everything Zen. What do these three songs have in common? All of them mentioned Elvis Presley in the lyrics of the song. That's what they all three had in common. Number two, I Think We're Alone Now, Mony Mony, and Crimson and Clover. What did these three songs have in common? They were all originally done by Tommy James and the Shondells. So they're all Tommy James and the Shondell cover songs. Interesting fact, too, I Think We're Alone Now knocked Mony Mony off the top of the charts back in 1987. Or maybe it was the other way around. But it was the only time in Billboard chart history where a cover song knocked another cover song out of the top spot, and they were both covers by the same band. That only happened one time, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Number three, you had Love and Marriage, My Life, and Who Are You? Those three songs were also used as TV theme songs later on. They were well-established songs that were later used as TV theme songs. That was probably more of a question for the U.S. exclusively. I probably should have mentioned that. Number four, Helter Skelter, White Punks on Dope, and Suspicious Minds all had fake fade-outs. They were songs that faded out and then faded back up again, usually towards the end of the song. Number five, I skipped over. I didn't do that on purpose. It wasn't like something I was trying to do. It was a complete accident. But I, for some reason, skipped over number five, so I'll do it here now. Sweet Home Alabama, Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner, Raspberry Beret by Prince and the Revolution, and I Saw Her Standing There by the Beatles. What do those three songs have in common? I will give the answer in the comments. But yeah, I don't know why I skipped over number five in the original video. Number six, you had the Last Train to Clarksville from the Monkees, What I Like About You from the Romantics, and Night Ranger's Sister Christian. Those three songs are all sung by the drummer of the group. I could have thrown in some Phil Collins, I guess, in there, but I thought that would kind of give it away. Number seven, you had Lucifer Sam from Pink Floyd, you had Beth from Kiss, and you had the Love Cats from The Cure. Those three songs all had something to do with a cat. Of course, Lucifer Sam has got the line about that cat's something I can't explain in the chorus, and it's pretty much about a cat. Beth is sung by a cat, so to speak, the Catman, Peter Criss from Kiss. That's why I just put the label of the record up. I didn't put the picture up there. I didn't want to kind of give it away with that, but that's what those three have in common. Number eight, you had Bad Romance from Lady Gaga, Call Me from Blondie, Psycho Killer from the Talking Heads. All of those have French lines in the lyrics, just out of nowhere. You hear French. Could have also used Hold On Tight from the Electric Light Orchestra. Number nine, you had Loser from Beck, Baby I'm a Star from Prince and the Revolution, and Rocket from Def Leppard. All of those have backward masking. They have the tape run backwards in the song with the backwards lyrics that you have to play the tape or the record backwards to figure out what they're saying. So that was number nine. Number 10, These Dreams from Heart, Sail on Sailor from the Beach Boys, and Numb from U2. Those three songs all have unusual lead singers. Pretty much the guitarist taking over the vocals for that song. Could have done a Keith Richards song in there as well with the Rolling Stones, but These Dreams, of course, it's Nancy Wilson instead of Ann, who usually sings. Sail on Sailor from the Beach Boys was interesting because it's a guy named Blondie Chaplin, who was with them for just a couple of years. He's actually the lead vocalist on that song. And Numb from U2, it's a guitarist, The Edge, with the lead vocal on that track. The guy that's just talking through the whole thing is actually The Edge. So that's what those three songs have in common. Number 11, this was kind of the tricky one. You had Mary Jane's Last Dance from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Under Pressure from Queen with David Bowie, and Tonight She Comes from The Cars. Those are all three songs that were originally released on a Greatest Hits album. They were not previously on a studio album. They were the new track on the Greatest Hits album, and that is true for Under Pressure. That was later, of course, put on the end of Hot Space, but it actually showed up first in 1981 on their Greatest Hits album. And I think that's pretty much the only time. I can't think of another time when that's happened, when a song showed up for the first time on a greatest hits album and then it was later put on the end of a studio album. They probably thought, we got to do something to make this Hot Space album a little better, so we better grab that track that we did on greatest hits and put that on here as well. So that's what those three songs had in common. Number 12, you had Always on the Run from Lenny Kravitz, Black or White from Michael Jackson, Ordinary Man from Ozzy Osbourne. Those songs all feature Slash from Guns N' Roses on guitar. Probably could have just thrown a Guns N' Roses song in there as well. Number 12, number 13, that's the one I said was kind of a sad one. Kind of bringing down the party with that one a little bit there. That was Just Like Starting Over from John Lennon, Yoko Ono. I Got a Name from Jim Croce, and All Apologies from Nirvana. Those three songs were all each on the chart when the lead singer passed away. Those were the songs that were on the charts when they met their untimely deaths, unfortunately. Number 14, this is the one where you didn't even have to hear the songs. You just kind of had to really pay attention to the song title and the artist. You had Neil Young with Old Man. You had White Zombie with Black Sunshine. You had Good Lovin' Gone Bad from Bad Company. One word in the title is the opposite of one word in the artist names. That's what those had in common. Let's see, where are we at? Number 15. This was a tricky one, especially because of the first song. Barracuda from Heart is the one that I think threw everybody off. Private Joy from Prince, and Everybody Have Fun Tonight from Wang Chung. The artist's name is mentioned in the song. Now, that's really obvious in the second two. Not so much with Heart, because Heart is obviously such a common word, but they do say heart in Barracuda. Today, I had to turn my heart away. So that kind of just sneaks in there. So that's what those three songs had in common. I thought that one was quite clever, if I do say so myself. Number 16 was pretty obvious. You had the Big Bopper with Chantilly Lace, Knocking on Heaven's Door from Guns N' Roses, Young Lust from Pink Floyd. Those songs all feature phone calls in them. The Big Bopper song has the phone call from the receiving end. You hear it ringing, and the other two, you're on the phone hearing it ring out. So that's what those three have in common. A phone call is heard in the song. Number 17, I Want You to Want Me from Cheap Trick. Maybe I'm Amazed from Paul McCartney and Wings, and Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band with Turn the Page. Those three songs, the live version is much more popular than the studio version. The live version is the hit version. The live version is the single version. The live version is the version that's always played on the radio. If you've never heard the studio version of I Want You to Want Me, wow, does that sound not as good. But yeah, the live version is the well-known version. That's what those three songs have in common. Number 18, Wind of Change from the Scorpions. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay from Otis Redding. Walk Like an Egyptian from the Bangles. Those songs all feature whistling. The Bangles, it's in the middle of the song, and Wind of Change is all the way throughout the song. And of course, the Otis Redding song, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, it's at the very end of the song. Two left here. We got number 19 with Centerfold from the Jay Giles Band, which could have also gone on the previous one, since it does contain whistling in the song. You have Hey Jude from the Beatles and Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' from Journey. Those songs all feature na 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 at the end of the song. As a matter of fact, Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' says nah 254 times. There's a fun fact for you. And finally, number 20, Urgent from Foreigner, Runaround from Blues Traveler, Rosanna from Toto. Those songs all come from an album called Four. That is what those have in common. So hopefully you got a lot of those correct. Like I said, I think most of them, or if not all of them, were eventually figured out in the comments section once I finally turned the comments on. And hopefully you had fun with it. Maybe you shared it with some people, had your friends battle it out with you. But those are the official answers. And I even threw in a bonus one that I had for some reason forgot to put in the original one, number 5 there. If you can figure out what Sweet Home Alabama, I Saw Her Standing There, and Raspberry Beret all have in common, feel free to put that in the comments as well. Once again, thank you so much if you played my game. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Robert Fithen, and hopefully I will talk to you again.